month, or not twice a month, like twice a year. Oh, Jesus, wow, I can't speak. So, figuratively, once a month. So, alright, you're definitely doing 12 tapings. Then about 4 to 6 takeovers. So, you're doing another 2 appearances on NXT or whatever it may be. And then he can do all of his other obligations with the fights and with all the like. Which this will be great. It's good for WWE for a few reasons. And this is just, again, strictly my opinion. And I know most of you may disagree with me, may agree with me. I really don't care. But Ranallo, I think he did his best WWE work while he's been under contract was during the Cruiserweight Classic when he broadcast with Daniel Bryan. Now, he drew a lot of criticisms for it, and Bryan was criticized for it. But you get everybody has their own style of doing things. You don't have to necessarily be a fan. But, Ranallo's been involved with wrestling, in a broadcaster standpoint or one way or another since he was with Stampede Wrestling. That's where he got his start. At a really young age, too. And, it's good to see him here because a lot of the times you're concentrating on calling the guys matches and watching them just work. You're not telling a whole lot of story. I mean, he's already told a whole lot of story while doing SmackDown live broadcasts. So I mean, it's not like he really needs training with that. But now it's like, all right, you get a little more wiggle room to actually call wrestling. In just my opinion, because you look at NXT versus how WWE is. Nakamura had to change his style a little bit when coming into the WWE. Samoa Joe too. They had to change some of the things of what they do. Whereas in NXT, they just let it, and even with Austin Aries, we'll go with that too. Kind of, but not really. NXT, these guys and girls are allowed to work and do their thing, obviously within what the company wants, but it's a different brand now. It's a different way of doing things now. And Ranallo's excitement and passion for wrestling and for anything combat sports, I'll just go with that route. He fits the NXT mold perfectly. Like, he is one man hype train. He knows how to get wrestlers over. He knows how to work his thing. For those who are saying he's overrated, that's bullshit. And it's bullshit. You're just trying to be a wise ass. And you're just trying to make an unpopular opinion just for the sake of it's an unpopular opinion, you're striking conversation. Which, again, it is what it is. And I get that Ranallo may not be everybody's cup of tea. But and I don't care what he and WWE denies, JBL bullied him. And not only did he get bullied, but he now he's away from that environment with JBL. Now he's away from going to have to be at a SmackDown taping 4 times a month, 52 times a year, whatever it may be, 50 to 52 times given whatever holidays they decide to take off or whatever end of the year special they wind up doing on SmackDown and Raw. You're working significantly less. I don't know what you're getting paid, and that's none of my business. But it's allowing him to do other things and take on other gigs. Like, again, he's contracted under Showtime. He was contracted under K1. Like, he's always all over the place. He's very much a very active person who suffers from mental illness. So, he does what he could. And for what happened, okay, I get it. I totally get it where people are like, well, he quit. Well, yeah, and I can look through my Twitter feed, and I can look through my Facebook feed, I can look through, things on Instagram, And I'm sorry, but I mean, most of us have been bullied in our lives. And for any of you who are denying it, I can just tell you right here, right now, you're full of shit. So, you turning it around and saying that this guy, why is he coming back? Why is he allowed back? Well, obviously, he still has something to offer. And in many ways, this works because obviously, again, they were grooming Tom Phillips to be the next guy on SmackDown Live, which is okay. So, where did that leave Ranallo? And I even saw a few posts like they're pissed off about it because they consider it a demotion. Well, yes and no, because guess what? A lot of these men and women on the NXT roster, they don't either wind up doing well on Raw or SmackDown for whatever reason, probably booking purposes, strictly booking purposes, or it's just a WWE environment. I'm sorry, but it was good while it lasted. I was very happy that I got to see Ranallo when I did, or on television, or whether it be at the Cruiserweight Classic, SmackDown Live. I think he called his best pay-per-view at the Backlash, in which Bray Wyatt won the WWE Championship. He brings a different kind of emotion to the table. He brings a different kind of enthusiasm to the table, and Michael Cole and Tom Phillips are both different as well. Everybody brings their own niche to the table, and that's what separates them from the rest, which is great. And that's kind of the way things are supposed to be. I mean, my God, for everybody who's crying for, we want JR, we want JR. If everybody sounded like JR, okay, I'm sure you'd be happy, but you don't really open yourself up to change. And sometimes change can be good. So this frees up Tom Phillips now the extra responsibilities in NXT to work SmackDown Live full time, kind of get groomed probably to go on Raw eventually at one point. And can we just make another comment? Can we get rid of these three person announced teams? Really? Please? If it were me, I'd have Phillips and Graves on SmackDown Live, and I'd have Michael Cole and JBL on Raw. And then Ranallo, obviously, with Nigel McGuinness on NXT. You don't need three-person commentary teams. You don't need it. There are a few times where, it actually worked, and I get it. But there's obviously a hard-on for the three-person commentary trio. It's sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And in both shows, it's not working. Booker T is still on Raw. That's awful. I've grown to like the Saxton, JBL, and Phillips combination. It's not JBL and Cole completely burying Byron Saxton the entire time, as per evidence of the ride-along. I don't know if that's real or not, but parts of it were scripted, which I'm pretty sure maybe a lot of them were. Obviously, if they're bringing up pictures in the back seat of the car, like, oh, what's this? Oh, it's my promo shot. Really? So, I'd rather have it all around, 2, 2, and 2. But as long as Ranallo and McGuinness do all the talking, or most of the talking, I have zero problem with Ranallo and McGuinness in the third person. I can't remember his name. I'm awful. Percy Watson, I believe. I think it's time to move on for the three-person tandem. But, a lot of times people remember, Piper, McMahon, and Heenan, and, doing their three-person commentary. But that's my point. There's always been a hard-on for the three-person commentary. I don't get it. I don't get it now as I'm older, and especially for guys who really obviously don't work together between Cole, Booker T, and Graves, and Phillips, Saxton, and JBL. Again, Cole and JBL on Raw, Phillips and Graves on SmackDown. Like, that's the way it should be, endpoint. But for me personally, and somebody who also battles with certain cases of mental illness, I guess if you want to put it that way, I'm happy Ranallo's coming back. He's a inspiration for a lot of people, whether they have the mental health issues or not. You know, he's a very inspirational guy, generally a very positive guy, a workaholic, and every time he calls a show, he always seems to be happy to be there. Versus some other guys that I question if they're actually really happy to be there. So, welcome back to the WWE, Mauro Ranallo. Very happy that you're back. And I hope things go better this time around versus, your first go around, which is, everything, it all happens for a reason, right, folks? I don't think it's a demotion. I think it's a good thing. Again, a lot of the roster of NXT never really even want to go. Not a lot of them want to go on the main roster anyway, because the money might be better, but they're taking away certain freedoms that they had. Which, whatever, it's rules, you got to follow it. But all right, let me take a really quick music break, and I'll come back. We'll talk a little bit of Money in the Bank. And probably the following SmackDown thereafter. Raw had quite a few good moments too, but then I also had a couple issues with Raw too. So let me just take this music break really quick, and then I'll be right back. Hang in there. All right, we're back. I'm going to already tell you this isn't going to be too long of a show. So, let me keep moving on here really quick with Money in the Bank. I missed the kickoff match, which was the Hype Bros, who defeated the Colognes.